Hey, what's up? You might be wondering what's Daly doing up here in the workshop. Well, we're building hits. This is another episode of Behind the Mic. I'm your host as always, Daly, and in this episode, we're going to do a few different things for you this time. We're going to intro a new segment called What the Fuck Tracks, WTF Tracks, and that's just a little segment where we'll get more into that in a minute. But I wanted to start off this show the way that we ended our last show, with a couple of thank yous. The other day, I'm sitting there at home, doing my little writing, up on my pad, and all of a sudden I get a buzz up on my apartment. I go out, it's the Mr. UPS man. And what does he have for me? Oh, new set of headphones, courtesy of a super fan. Now, I'm not going to get too into it because there was a little note that kind of came with it saying this is the first time that they've ever done anything like this, but they heard that I need a new pair of headphones that I had put out there a little while back, and they were good enough to actually hook Daly up with some. So any companies out there that want to toss some free swag, hey, go nuts and any fans. I always appreciate, much love. You guys know how you do. It's the independent vibe, Alright, so I guess the only thing that I have to really talk about before we get into the new segment is the upcoming album. We have a soft release date in mind now. The release date that we're looking at for the new Daly, the new album, you're looking at 2014. We're looking at April, May, somewhere in there. Looking for the new CD to drop, looking for a tour to happen. So there's going to be a few different things coming and going. So I want y'all to keep your eyes open for that. And of course, Daly's going to keep y'all notified as well. So, what is WTF Tracks? What the fuck tracks? Well, last time I was in Toronto touring, I had a chance to stop in at the Labassiere Lounge in Toronto, and pretty tight joint too. So we stopped in there and we were doing a show for CMI, Canadian Independent Movement, and while we were there, we had a good show, good set, and I went outside, I was having a smoke, and as I'm having this smoke, this chick comes out to me and she was like, "Oh wow, that Shot the Bitch track, that was an awesome track. But can you tell me, what did the bitch do to get shot?" And I was like, oh my god, you totally missed the concept of the track. And I'm like, I wasn't shooing the bitch because she did some, it's because she was so hot. I was like, damn, if my dick was a gun, I would have shot the bitch. So after that, it kind of got me thinking, maybe some of you don't always get the concepts and everything of all my tracks. So, I'm sure some of you guys do too. But just in case you don't, I wanted to take a second just to kind of go over a couple of the tracks that I've written here in the past and just let you guys know exactly what I was thinking, the concept behind it. So today, we're going to start off with the new segment, WTF Tracks, with Half a Light. Now, this track was done by myself and a good friend of mine named Nathan Jost. He does a lot of the singing. We even got my girl, Missy M. She does a little bit of background, so you really got to listen to it. And pretty much the writing was a two-part kind of thing. He did the actual hook itself and actually did all the singing on it. And I pretty much did all the in-between with the rapping. So if you're unfamiliar with the track, it is here on Daly 204. All you got to do is search for it, and I'll see if I can't throw up a link here to the YouTube at the end of the segment. So, I guess to start off with Half-Life, you've got to understand the track a little bit. The track, like I said, was co-written, but it was originally a track that was somewhat already written. I already had the idea for it. My buddy Nate, really good guy. He had recently had a loss in his family. He had recently lost his mother. And this song has a lot to do with that because she had some personal demons that she was fighting at the time. And that goes into a lot of what happens with the song. One of the reasons why we even worked together on it was that I had done another kind of, I guess, tribute track to a homie Carlitos, also known as Carl Michelson. And yeah, that's another track that's popping around here, and it was a really phenomenal track. And Nathan really liked what I did with that, and he was hoping that I could do the same for this track. So pretty much it's going to be a little bit dark, a little bit of loss, and I'm not really going to go over Nathan's parts themselves, because I would prefer that, you know, if he wants to tell people about that, he can tell them about that himself. But pretty much my parts are very much tied into the overall concept and the overall story. So we'll just get into this. So we're going to start off with light shines, you close your eyes. Been unclean, told some lies. Alibi by disguise, felt abandoned, tossed aside. So we'll start with those first 4 lines. Well, the light shines, you close your eyes. Pretty much is anyone that's ever been on the darker side, anyone that's ever had maybe some depression, or they've had that issue where even though that they know that they're doing wrong, they're not able to stop themselves from it. So it's more or less that they're turning away. The light shines and you close your eyes. Been unclean, told some lies. Well, that again, the song does deal a lot with addiction, so you're going to see a lot of references coming and going with addiction. With that one, it is pretty simple. Alibi, well, that one is pretty simple. It's been unclean, told some lies. You know, at one time you were clean, you told some lies, maybe now you're dirty. Alibi by disguise. That's pretty much because as drugs take effect of you, you no longer can recognize yourself. And the only way that you really get through is by putting on masks and by trying to disguise yourself. Then we're going to go on to felt abandoned, tossed aside. Again, I find anyone that's ever dealt with a drug problem or drug addiction, lots of times you can feel felt abandoned, tossed aside, especially from society. Falling out the fabric wove. Once you leave, you can't go home. Well, that's pretty much how anyone ever feels when you deal with addiction. You affect the family around you. And once you've fallen out of that family fabric, you know, there's no way to go back. And that's what that really means. Every cut it takes its toll. Every pierce stains the soul. Well, again, we were talking about drug addiction. So, in this, again, very, very strong metaphor there. I'm sure you guys can see how that one would work. Okay, catch the tail and won't let go. To live as fast as die slow. More you use, the more it shows. Life you lead, the life you chose. So that's pretty simple. The whole tail metaphor is a little bit of a shot at heroin. You know, the rest of it is pretty much, you know, it's choosing. It's you making the decision. Do you want to walk down the dark path, or do you want to walk down that light path? So that's just the beginning of that. So of course we have another hook, and then we go on to the last chorus here. I hear the words you're speaking. Dust-covered clothes must be tweaking. Well, that's actually a little bit of a personal line for me, because again, drawing on addiction, I like to draw from a lot of my own personal experiences, and that does have a reference to my own family, my brothers. Not any one of them in particular, but I know sometimes coming back, you know, being a little bit unclean, having their good times, but again, you know, we'll move on. Walked out on his family, turned his back, eyes is leaking. Well, that's pretty much people that, you know, when you turn your back on your family, it's going to be hard. You know, it's a choice that you're not trying to make. So the eyes is leaking is, of course, the person turning away, having to walk away from his family, maybe crying just a little bit. Seeking light, the darkness fading, light taken sunder. Well, the seeking the light, you know, the darkness taken sunder, that means that even though that they know what they're doing is right and that they try to get on that path, the darkness still closes in. So it's kind of like a never-ending shadow, like the light is closing in, the darkness is fading, and that half a light is starting to flicker a little bit. Every time he takes a hit, the body craves another. That I'm sure everyone can understand the reference there. Missing the family, wife, son, and daughter. Well, again, that goes back to the family. Fallen from grace as if he was a martyr. Well, I find that that's because people in families, sometimes when dealing with addictions, they'll even put that addict up on a pedestal and they'll make excuses for them. So that's where the whole martyr part comes in. You know, even if he falls, still going to be a martyr. Chosen to change, no substitution for the pain. That's what you know. There's no way to get past that pinprick, that release, the addiction itself. Upbringing getting traded in for the shame, instincts slowly slipping away. Well, again, you know it's wrong. You can feel it wrong in your inner body, in your inner soul, but you know it's got a hold of you, and it's not going to let go. Half the light shines, half the light shades. Well, that is just to bring back the whole concept and to really tie it in. That the half light shines, the half light shades. That it's that choice. It's that choice. Everyone has the chance to sin, and everyone has the chance for redemption. The song itself isn't about religion, but I do like to tie it in like that. So that is WTF Tracks. WTF Tracks. Well, from Daily, the new headphones. Yeah, swag. WTF Tracks. Stubby Yellow Bus. Another episode Behind the Mic in the can. I want to thank everybody for watching. Of course, don't forget to hit up the Daily 204 YouTube channel if you haven't seen our videos or some of the music before. And other than that, yeah. Peace, everybody. I gotta get back to doing these hits.